everyone. This is Dr. Ladonna again, and I am here and I am unstoppable. And I'm with Tamara Patrick today, and she is going to tell us a little bit about herself to get us kickstarted. Tamara, take it away.
I am a 17-year Army veteran. I am a mother of 2 and a grandmother to 7. And a fur mama to 3. So that's me in a nutshell. Author, speaker. Let's see, what else?
Oh, the best and friendliest friend ever. Tamara
Yes.
would do anything for anyone that she could possibly help. She would be there for them. Tamara and I have known each other now for maybe 2 years.
Yes.
Maybe 2 years. And
Yeah.
I've never seen anything but positivity from her with herself, her family, and her business. And let me tell you guys, she knows what she's talking about. She teaches you what you need to know. And she gives it to you a little rough around the edges sometimes, but only if that's what you need, because she's going to give you everything you deserve. Tamara, tell me a little bit about your pivoting program.
Oh, my pivoting program. This program teaches you to have purpose, intention, vision, opportunity, and transformation. What it does is what I really try to do is help people that are hitting a wall. And I know it sounds crazy, but hit a wall, they step to the right, slide to the left, or maybe step to the left, slide to the right. But what they really need to do is turn and walk away in purpose and style. A lot of people lose their purpose. They don't really understand that they have a purpose. They get so caught up in life that they forget that they have a purpose. So that's what I really try to do.
That is awesome. Now, how long is your program for?
This program is usually for 6 weeks, but it's like an hour a week. So if you want to do it in 6 times, 6 hours, we can 6 hours. We can do, it's really 6 hours, but it's an hour long. And then the reason I do it in a week is because then that way you have that week to reflect on what you've done this week. You know, the purpose, the pivot, the intention, the vision. You can start seeing all those things. So
that's something. I told you guys, she does what you need. That's what she's here for, is to help you get where you want to go as fast or as slow as you want to get there. That's what I love about Tamara. She's very, very patient, and she will guide you and hold your hand all the way. Now, tell me about, what is the most transformative thing you've been through, Tamara, so that you can help others understand that you are serious about your business, you know what you're doing, and it's nothing that you haven't already been through?
Well, I've led soldiers in the Army. I've helped them find what they're going to do after the military. I've helped them set up different programs so that, so they can learn that the Army's not, when you come out of the Army, you have a regiment, and that's the way you are. When you get out of the Army, you don't understand that people see you different, or you see people differently. You expect them to be exactly like they are in the military, and they're not. When you're in the military, things are this way, blah, 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 blah. You get up at 4, you do PT at 6, you shower, shave, and go to work by 8, 9 o'clock. That's the kind of stuff that you're used to. When you get out of the Army and you start working in the civilian world, you have to remember that people are not that regimented. They are, like, I went to work in a clothing store, and I forgot that I wasn't the boss. I had a boss, and I forgot that. I forgot that I was just a little worker, just like the rest of them. And it's really hard to get back into the swing of being in the civilian world when you're so regimented into what you do. So the next thing is, I've also been through a lot of, I 2 classes away from getting my bachelor's degree in psychology. I kind of turned and went a different way. I have 2 associate's degrees. Let me see, what else? Really, honestly, I've been through so much stuff that I know I can help other people with. So that's kind of where I'm at.
That's awesome. And you know what? I know from my husband was in the Army, not as long as you, Tamara. He didn't go to war. I mean, this woman has been to war, literally. When we say you've been to war and back, no, Tamara has truly been with her combat boots on the ground and in the world field. And my husband didn't go through that, but he did go through several years of regiment, like you said, routine. And when he decided to get out of the military, we came from Germany back to the US with a baby that we did not enter the Army with or Germany with. Big step. We had to come back before him because military soldiers have a lot of things they have to do on their own. So it was better for me and baby girl to come back. Baby girl now is getting ready to have her 40th birthday. So that tells you how long it's been. But I mean, she was less than 2 years old at the time. So it was easier for her and I to come back to the US. Well, guess what? We had to figure out a way to where to go and how to get there. Get a new job. Ladonna had to find a sitter. Ladonna had to find a place to live. Now, I wasn't the soldier. And my husband says all the time, thank God that I had a wife that helped during that time, because when he came back to the US after, I don't know what you call it, but after the military was done with him and gave him his separation papers, that's what I was looking for, his separation papers saying, okay, we're done with you now. You can go on your merry little way. And I already had all of these things set up for him. We even had a little job set up for him. So when he got back, he just went right to work so that he would at least have purpose. Because when you've had purpose for so long and the power that you have being a soldier, it's hard to come out and not have that purpose. But he still had to go get training and education and all of that. It is a big transformation. It's a transformation leaving any job under any circumstances.
Yes.
But coming out of the military, coming from overseas, battling the war fields, all of those things put I call them cobwebs in your ears, cobwebs in your brain, and you have to be able to move through them. That's the only way I can explain it. Not being the soldier myself, I just know the experience of being that military wife on the other side. So I'm glad that we have you, Tamara, that can take a soldier and help them, but also take non-soldiers and help them through their cobwebs, help them through those steps that you need to take to be able to get where you're going. I'm a business owner, and every day I get up and I'm like, thank you, God, for another day to experience the world, experience life, spend more time with my family. And you gave me this beautiful business that I've worked my tail off for. But you know what, Tim? Every single day, I have to comb through those cobwebs of some sort because life is not always easy.
No.
Personally or in business, would you say?
Life is not easy. It seems like every time you turn around, you're hitting a wall. You turn to, you're over 50 and somebody says, well, maybe you're a little too old to work here. So then you have to restart somewhere. Where are you going to restart? What are you going to do? What do you like to do? You don't even know because you've been a mom, a sister, a daughter, and you tend to forget who you really are or what you really like. At least with me, I can sit down and we can say, okay, this is what my likes are. This is what and we can set a plan to get where we're going.
Yeah.
And that helps out so much. And I never even realized, but the only reason I did this, I can tell you the whole story. I had just finished my second bachelor's degree or my second associate's degree, sorry, my second associate's degree. And it was in interior design. Now, that is something I love to do. I love to look at a house and say, oh, we can do this. But that's really not what I was thinking of. And I was sitting in church and this song by Casting Crowns came on. And it's called Nobody. And all of a sudden I heard this. You're not a nobody. You're a vessel. And you need to tell people that they're not a nobody either. And that's when I started really saying, how can I do that? Well, the only way I can do that is to help other people. Tell people, look, you have a purpose. You have a reason to be here. So that's my purpose. That's how I found my purpose.
So now in this conversation already, to tell you how important Tamara is to be in each and every one of your life. She wants to help you. She wants to help everyone around you. She's a mom. She's a grandmom. She's a fur mom. She's a daughter. She's a sister. And she's a godly woman. I've gathered all of this from this conversation, just from knowing Tamara and listening to Tamara. And I will tell you, if there's anyone out there, I talked to you about my soldier when he was in the Army, and he's a wonderful dad and husband, and he's a brother and a son and all of those things. Well, guess what? We're going through a transition right now. Texas Instruments has decided that my husband needs to retire. So I'm giving you this example because these are things Tamara can help you with. He is sitting here and he's like, but I thought I had another, year, 18 months, and then I would decide when I would retire. Now, what am I going to do? He's over 60. Who's going to hire him? Maybe someone will. Maybe we don't want him to go back to work. Maybe he's worked his entire life and he should take this time. So he was really, Tamara, freaking out the other day because tomorrow is his last day at Texas Instruments for 34 years. 34 years, almost 35.
Wow.
Every day he has went in and worked with almost the same people and been around the same people and done almost the same things. And he's got that regiment, that routine.
Yeah.
And he's got it down. He drives 45 minutes one way there. He spends 12 hours. He's another 45 minutes home. We eat dinner. We watch a movie. We go, that's our regiment 4 and 5 nights a week. And then the others just hodgepodged around. And finally I said, stop. Let's breathe. Let's take until the first of the year, just a few weeks, and do nothing. Let's let you be on vacation. I had to break it down from you. Just pretend you're on vacation for the next few weeks. And then at the beginning of the year, we can start putting that plan together. And folks, sometimes just taking that breather, I think really helps. I know for him, when he went to work this morning, it seemed like he was a little bit better. But people like Tamara can help you get through all of these things. It don't have to be just women. It don't have to be just men. You don't have to be just over 50. You don't have to be a soldier. We all need a Tamara in our life. I honestly believe that. We all need a Tamara in our life. One way, someday, sometime, you're going to need a Tamara. Maybe for 6 weeks. Maybe you need her for 12 weeks. It doesn't matter. She will create the plan for you, about you. So Tamara, I know that you put a book together, that you are the author. Tell me a little bit about your book.
This book It's a journey through transformation and growth. It tells you my story. I don't know if I can see it.
Right in front of you. There you go.
There you go. Anyway, this book really is my guide that helped me get through it all. I've had so many different transformations in my life. And, you know, you transform from being a soldier, you transform from being a mom, you transform from being a grandma, you transform from being anything. And then to transform into being a business owner, I was like, what are you doing? So, yeah. And, you know, sometimes you have to sit back and just say, but this book really is about resilience and building that resilience, because I have another program. It's called Phoenix Rising. So that's my second program. And my Phoenix Rising is about like the Phoenix. It's about, you know, when you crash and you burn and you hit that wall and all those ashes come down. Well, then you rise and you start rising and you start building and you see that Phoenix starting to rise and you become that Phoenix. And I have a saying, it's rising is not an option. It's what we do. So rising is all about pulling those ashes together and putting them together, and you build them together. And when you build them together, that full, beautiful Phoenix comes out. But, you know, I have realized the only way that Phoenix is really going to come up is with the help of your mind and God. And I know I sound preachy, but that's the way it is. You have to have your mindset right. And the only way to get your mindset right is to get God involved and to really let yourself become who you're supposed to be. Because if you realize God doesn't make mistakes, you'll realize you have that purpose and you will find it.
This is a perfect ending for our unstoppable segment today, because what I just heard is you must have your mind and your God. And I think that is a perfect ending to this segment. Pick up Tamara's book. What was the name of the book again, Tamara?
It's called Minding What Matters, a journey through loss, growth, and transformation.
And you can pick that up off of Amazon, correct?
Yes.
Remember, go out and make today your best day ever. And remember, you must have your mind and your God. And you will make it through each and every one of your day. Thank you so very much, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And until next time, bye-bye now.